Tonight we are victorious.
UIW football was victorious this past weekend, beating the living crap out of Texas A&M Commerce 35-7. Incarnate Word now 8-1 on the season. One of my favorite times of the week, having head coach Kinne with us right now. Coach Kinne, how was your Halloween?
It was good. It was good. I got to do some trick-or-treating with my son, passed out some candy after that at the house. It was a good crowd.
Very, very nice. Isn't that fun? That's like the greatest thing ever, is to go trick-or-treating with your kids. But I got ditched this past Halloween. My daughter, who's in 5th grade, was like, no, Dad, I'm going with my friends. And I didn't know this until we were walking out the door. Her friends met us in the front, but man, it was kind of depressing there. Hey, real fast, before we get into some football, though, we're having some slander here regarding Almond Joy. Are you for or against Almond Joy candies?
No Almond Joy here.
I'm the only one here that apparently loves them, but we have head coach Kinne of Incarnate Word. You know, last week when you were on halftime, you talked about this being a must-win game for your team, because if you guys want to win the Southland Conference, you got to actually win out to make that happen. Texas A&M Commerce was ahead of you guys in the division, was undefeated going into Saturday's game, had a home game against your team. You went in there, won by 4 touchdowns. What was the main difference?
Yeah, it was a huge game on the road. Like you said, they had previously beaten a team that had beaten us. And so I think our guys were ready. They were prepared and had a great week of practice. And I kind of felt it, in pregame warmups. Both sides were, it was a competitive spirit, a little chippy back and forth. And that's the kind of game we won. And our guys were really fired up, and they really just came out and really just physically just dominated the game, to be honest with you. In the third and fourth quarter, there were guys that, they were tapping out on their side. So it was good to see. And I think our O-line and D-line, just really was the big difference.
Now, when you say physically dominate, do you get that sense early on? Do you get that sense in pregame, or is it as the game starts? When do you know that, hey, our team is amped up today?
Yeah, I think you could feel it in pregame, but you never know until the game starts. So, it was close there for a while, but I think our tempo, and that's what I tell guys all the time, the way we practice, the way we train, prepares us, for those games and, that fourth quarter. So, it was good to see it, come to life, and our guys were playing really hard, and that's what it's all about.
Talking to UIW head football coach Kinne right now. Again, Incarnate Word 8-1 on the season, trying to win the Southland Conference. We give a lot of love to your quarterback, Lindsey Scott Jr. He always does a fantastic job. But this past weekend, Marcus Cooper, your running back, went off 183 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Tell me about his game and his confidence level right now as you guys are ending the regular season pretty soon.
Yeah, he's a big-time back. I think because of his size, he's not the biggest guy, but every coach I talk to just talks about how physically impressive he is. He finishes run. He's a physical back for being a small guy. He's got great speed, great vision. He's a great receiving threat out of the backfield. So he's an all-around back, and I think he's probably the top in the conference for sure. He's impressive.
Now, right now, you guys have 2 games left in the regular season. You've got HBU this weekend here at Incarnate Word, 2:00 kickoff. And then after that, the big game to end the regular season, which may decide the actual champion, Northwestern State Demons. How do you not overlook this game? Because you know that the next game might actually determine who wins the conference title. How do you not overlook this particular game?
Yeah, it's senior day. We're playing at home. We got to protect the nest. No guarantees. This could be the seniors' last home game. So we're going to come out. We're going to play extremely hard. They've had a great week of practice, great energy. We got, great senior leadership that's not going to let these other guys slack off. So I'm excited for the game. They're a team that looks the part. They got some great looking athletes. They're going to be well coached. They're going to be excited to play as well. So I look forward to a good game.
Talking to UIW head football coach Kinne, you mentioned that it's senior day or the senior game. Anything special going on for your senior members of the team?
Yeah, we'll get out there a little bit beforehand and recognize those guys and their families and make sure I get a picture with them. But really, it's about the game for those guys. You know, they've put a lot into this program over the years and a lot of workouts, you know, their schoolwork, everything. So to be able to, you know, congratulate them and recognize those guys on their special day will be important for everybody.
That's outstanding. You know, HBU coming in with a 2-6 record, 1-3 in conference. What can you tell us about this team, and how are you scouting them?
Yeah, they like I said, they look the part. They got some really good-looking athletes. They go fast on offense, defensively. They give you different looks, and they'll play some man coverage with those athletes. And you know, so it'll be a good game for sure. But I think that, like I said, the way we train, the way we prepare, you know, I'm excited to kind of see how our guys stack up against these.
Now, the team that's ahead of you guys in the Southland Conference standings right now, Northwestern State Demons. It's kind of interesting because after HBU, you guys have a bye week. You've got 2 weeks to prepare for that final game of the season against Northwestern State, while they have a game on the 12th leading up to you guys. So do you think that's a little bit of an advantage for you guys, even though you guys are going to be on the road and it's going to be a hard game to play, but the fact that you have 2 weeks to prepare for it?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a bye week is great for your guys to get a little rest mentally and physically. Maybe try to get them home to their family later in the week and kind of relax a little bit. But especially good for us, for coaches. We get to go out and recruit and do that whole deal. But we'll get our game plan ready, like you said, next week for them, and then kind of fine tune it the next week.
Talking to head football coach G.J. Kinne of Incarnate Word. The Cardinals 8-1 on the season. Got to win back-to-back games to end the regular season to win the Southland Conference. You talked about getting rested during the bye week. Are there any injuries right now that you're kind of concerned about that guys need to kind of get better to get back to the team?
Man, I think everyone, you know, this time of the year is a little banged up. So I think that bye week will just be good for everyone's bodies. We don't have any major injuries or anything like that, which is great. Once again, it kind of goes back to the way we train. And I mean, we lift heavy a couple of times a week during the season. A lot of people don't do that, but I think it's great. And our guys really, you know, buy into it. So we're pretty healthy, knock on wood, going into this game and into the bye week.
Now you're 33 years old, first year head coach, your first time ever as a head coach for a college football program. That being said, now that you're 9 games in, what has been easier than you thought, and what has been harder than you thought?
Harder, I think for me is probably just coaching everyone else. You're not just coaching, you know, the players. You're coaching the coaches, the training staff, the equipment room, the ops department. So you're just leading multiple people. And for me, I've always been, you know, whether it's the quarterback room or the offense, but now being in charge of 110 players plus coaching staff plus support staff. But it's been fun, to be perfectly honest with you. It's something that I feel like I do a good job at, and I've really just enjoyed my time with this group of young men and everyone surrounding the program.
And what came easy?
I think the football part. That's what I love. You know, it is the evaluation, the players, the recruiting. I feel like my time in the NFL, getting to see Lane Johnson, you know, every day, getting to see Michael Vick and Nick Foles and Matt Barkley and Mark Sanchez and all the different quarterbacks, and kind of seeing the different way they did things and being able to evaluate all the different positions. And hey, like, this is what it looks like. I've been there for, you know, over 5 years. Like, this is what a NFL left tackle looks like. We need to get as close as possible to that. You know, this is what NFL quarterback looks like. We need to get as close as possible to this. So I think that part's been pretty easy for me. That's something I really enjoy, is the evaluation part of the recruiting process.
That's UIW head football coach G.J. Kinne. Again, Incarnate Word, final regular season home game against HBU. Kickoff at 2:00 at UIW. Again, they need to win these next 2 games in order to win the Southland Conference. I like a get to know you segment, Coach Kinne. You've been a good sport about it. You mentioned being around the NFL and your times coaching, but has there ever been an instance where you met an athlete and you were just in complete shock, where you were a fanboy and you almost just lost it there because you could not believe you were meeting this particular person? Who was that person?
Probably Michael Vick. My
Really?
first year in Philadelphia. Yeah. He was, this is 2013, and we were in the same quarterback room, and he was one of my favorite players growing up, and he was on the cover of Madden, and just a great player. And so getting to be in the quarterback room with him and kind of interact with him every day, still sometimes is pretty surreal. So I would say Michael Vick.
All right. Hey, you and your family, are you really big into decorating for the holidays? Do you decorate for like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all that stuff?
Yeah, we will for sure. My oldest son really enjoys it. He goes around and like the houses that weren't decorated for Halloween, he wanted to ask him why. I mean, we go all out, and so we already took down the Halloween decorations. So the fall Thanksgiving decorations will be next, followed and then by Christmas.
Okay, so are you gonna judge me because I'm putting up my Christmas tree this weekend? It will be up. It'll be Christmas time at the Jimenez household.
No, that's good. As long as you're decorating, as long as you're getting in the spirit, that's all that matters.
Very nice. That is UIW head football coach G.J. Kinne with us every Wednesday during the season. And I hope for many, many weeks to come, because the way that FCS football works, you guys actually have a true playoff system. 24 teams come together. You're going to have an actual champion. You're going to run through it all. And I'm sure you guys are going to be part of that, either as conference champ or an at-large. I'm sure you guys are going to be part of that.
Yep.
So I hope this continues for many, many more weeks to come. Thanks for being with us, Coach Kinne.
Appreciate you.
Good luck this weekend. Again,
Yeah,
kickoff at 2:00 at UIW. Go check them out.